going to show you a meme. Now, last week, one of the big, huge news stories, one of the things that was just driving folks up a tree, as a matter of fact, on Fox News yesterday, there were 4 tabs at the top of my screen, and one was the shootings in Minneapolis, and one was Cracker Barrel, right? So of the 4, it was Cracker Barrel was at the top, was one of the 4 top news stories for Fox News, because Cracker Barrel, God bless us all, they changed their logo. They didn't change the font. They didn't change the colors. They really didn't even change the shape. What they did was they got rid of, I don't know if you're familiar with the Cracker Barrel logo, but there's a dude sitting there next to a barrel. And they got rid of him. And they got rid of the barrel. And so now, instead of the Cracker Barrel logo having a dude and a barrel with their name on it, it just has their name on it. And their name's a little bit bigger. Same colors, same font. Not a real big deal. And I also heard that Cracker Barrel was going to change how their interior looks. They were going to change it up a little bit, make it a little bit more modern feeling. Maybe move away from that sort of classic Americana kind of thing. Anyhow, I found this meme today. I found this meme on X, and it's again the same font as the Cracker Barrel logo. I need Cracker Barrel logo change level outrage about school shootings. So what this meme is making fun of is the fact that people were really, really, really upset by Cracker Barrel changing their corporate logo. Really upset that Cracker Barrel was making a shift in their marketing. Really, and I mean it. Like, one guy I read, I believe it was an editorial on Fox News. Been spending a lot of time on Fox News lately because apparently that's where you go for the best news. And this guy was going on that this was an affront. Like, this was outrageous in the highest degree. That we're talking about American values here. Changing that logo. They're changing America. These are our values and our ideals. No way should they be tampering with this. No way should Cracker Barrel be making these changes. How dare they? Oh, they went on about it. They were woke and they were this and they were that. So much so that by changing their logo, Cracker Barrel's also very quietly gotten rid of parts of their webpage that talk about diversity and equity, and they've gotten rid of parts of their webpage that talk about, equality and equity. Anyhow, this was a big deal for a lot of people. And so that meme again, I want to see this level of outrage for school shootings. I want to see this level of outrage for starvation and famine in Gaza. I want to see this level of outrage for Russia invading Ukraine. I want to see this level of outrage for the civil war that's going on in Sudan. I want to see this level of outrage for child poverty. I want to see this level of outrage for homelessness. I want to see this level of outrage for homeless vets. I want to see this level of outrage for homeless vets. I want to see this level of outrage for healthcare. Making sure that people can get the care they need, making sure that getting the care they need doesn't bankrupt them and take everything from them. I want to see this level of outrage for taking care of the people of our world, of our nation. Because it ain't there. It just simply, it is not present. Nothing seems to matter as much as how, I guess, the woke left is trying to steal America and everything that America is and everything that America stands for. And at the same breath, they don't quite understand. Cracker Barrel was established in 1969. I believe in Tennessee. They were established in 1969. They are a incredibly profitable corporation. The reason they changed their logo was not because they were going woke. The reason they changed their logo had nothing to do with DEIA. The reason they changed their logo had nothing to do with the left, except for they wanted to expand their market. That's all. That's what that is, right? We're going to change our logo because maybe if we change our logo, it'll seem a little bit more appealing to people who we generally aren't appealing to. That's it. It was marketing 101. It's all about the Benjamins, baby. It's just about money. They want more of it. They're happy with their customer base. They like their customer base. Their customer base is incredibly loyal, and they love being able to make a huge profit off of their customer base. But they want more money, and so they wanted to expand their customer base, except that they didn't realize their customer base was going to lose their ever-loving mind with this change, and therefore they actually would have lost more customers than they would have gained with this logo change. And so they backtracked. But it has nothing, they didn't backtrack because they want to preserve American values. No, they backtracked because they want to preserve their profit margin. This whole thing's about money for Cracker Barrel. And it's about fear for their customers, fear of change, fear of grief, the fear of loss, the fear of loss. Now, as I'm reading the stories about Cracker Barrel, as I'm reading the comments that have been made about Cracker Barrel, one of the thoughts that popped into my brain, well, not one, my thoughts on it were, can you please tell me in Scripture where Jesus tells us to spend our time and our talents, to spend our energy, to spend our words, to spend any part of us, really, on preserving our cultural values, on preserving our societal norms, on preserving all that Canada or Mexico or the United States or Great Britain means. Where does he ever tell us to do that? I mean, where does Jesus tell us to spend our energy making sure that things don't change, making sure that everything remains exactly as it always has been since I was 10 years old? Where does Jesus tell us to preserve what was? This is a guy whose teachings extended beyond what had always been understood. It's a guy who taught from a perspective of, you've always believed this. Well, here's what I want to offer you. You've always believed that. Well, there's more to it. Think about it from this perspective. This was a guy who came along and taught, I'm going to use the word, incredibly progressively. He took the theology of the day and blew it up and asked people to enter into a place of uncertainty with what they knew about God, right? Asked people to enter into a place of uncertainty that all that they thought they knew. He was saying, no, that's just the drop in the bucket. There's so much more out there. And this was a guy who taught us to spend our time and our energy taking care of each other and taking care of the least fortunate in our communities. Where does he tell us? Where does Jesus tell us? Listen, anybody out there tries to change that corporate logo, you give them a dose of righteous anger. No. That is so ridiculous. It is incredibly ridiculous that we would spend that time on it. It's a logo. It's a logo that is completely unoffensive. Like, it's literally just their name. They didn't add anything to it that would make you think they're diminishing you in some capacity or dehumanizing anybody. They didn't add something to it that would make you think, are they giving us a message here? They didn't add something to it that would make us wonder, are they trying to tell us or incite us to feel something or do something, to believe something? Nope. Just change their logo to say their name. Absolutely unoffensive, and yet in the news for a week because of how people feel about it. How people's feelings were upset by it. How people's feelings were hurt by it. How it made people afraid. How it made people grieve. How it made people lament. No blood spilled. But they were ready to fight a war. Let's just, even from where we sit, even from where we are standing, let us please be very careful with what we are going to rage about. Let us be very, very careful with what we are going to be upset by. Let us be very, very careful with what we are going to allow, what we are going to take offense to. Don't waste yourself. Don't waste yourself on things like this. We're called to do something in this world. We're called to be something in this world. We're called to help this world become something even greater than it's ever been. That's where we spend our time and our energy. That's where we need to commit ourselves to. Don't waste it on rage. Don't waste it on offense. Don't waste it on culture wars. Don't waste it on trying to keep the world from being what you dream it used to be. Use your energy. Use that precious resource, those precious resources of time and talent on making the world into a place, making the world into a place where making the world into a better place. Making it into a better place than it's ever been before. Let's spend our energy on the right things and work diligently, not to get caught up in some nonsense like Cracker Barrel changing their logo. My guess is that's one of those moments that Jesus would give his forehead a slap. What are these people doing? There are hungry kids. There are families that are afraid. There are people in hiding. There are hospitals being bombed. There is famine across the land. There is sickness and there is dying. There is genuine suffering. The place you get your breakfast, changing their logo, really shouldn't be that high on your list of priorities. Amen.